Hello, friends. It's John Clancer of episode 155 of Shadow and Flame with Magic, the podcast. And today we're going to review Savage Wolverine issue 13. So let's get into it. And if you'd like a visual to follow along visually, you can check out my TikTok or YouTube channels at JackoSII and follow along if you like. And this concludes our Kraven the Hunter mini event we've been doing. Yeah, this is written by Phil Jimenez and Scott Lopez. Breakdowns by Phil Jimenez. Finished art by Jimenez, Palmer, Florella, Pat Olive, and Green. Colors Rochelle Rosenberg. And this came out in February 2014. Many years ago, a secret government organization abducted a man called Logan, a mutant possessing razor-sharp bone claws and the ability to heal from any wound. In their attempt to create the perfect living weapon, the organization bonded the unbreakable metal adamantium to a skeleton. The process was exhilarating, and by the end, there was little left of the man known as Logan. He had become Savage Wolverine. Previously, during a trip to the wilds of Africa, Wolverine stumbled across a group of brutally injured rhinos whose horns and hides were stripped by a group of poachers. Outrage over the death of a group of animals who a younger Logan had befriended in his days before the X-Men, Logan decided to investigate the poachers who killed them. With the help of Kitty Pryde, Wolverine was able to track these poachers to Madripoor. Wolverine turned to an old friend and current ruler of the island, Tiger, to help him end the black market. But Tiger had other plans and betrays Wolverine. And this is part two of two. And it opens up with Kraven the Hunter and a lady of his. Um, in the South Africa Mozambique border years ago. Hence why we did the previous issue, because might as well knock out both issues, right? And Craven shoots an elephant from I don't know how many paces, 30 paces back, which Logan tells us is very cowardly, and he had just killed him then. Fireman would have had one less bad guy running around Queens. And that was it, 2 pages, and that's all the Craven content we get. Meanwhile, the Trinity Grade School for Gifted Youngsters, Westchester, New York, now. And we see Kitty Pryde and Doug Ramsey interacting for the second time during this era, and I believe last time. And Doug's explaining how elephants communicate subsonically. And turning for a bookmark, I bought this from Hastings when I was an employee there. Got $1 savings, so instead of $3.99, it was $2.99, which at the time was enough of a savings to keep my comic book reading habit going. So that was pretty nice. And so Kitty's noticing all the elephant signs are they're like there's elephant cerebro, elibro. It like elephant signals are disappearing, and Doug's like, well, it's because they're dying, they're being slaughtered. So that's not great. And this does read like a very special, like two-part story of like, please don't be a poacher or support poachers or buy ivory, which I stand by. Like, don't do it. And so Logan's confronting Tiger. They could tell from the signals that the elephants are acting irrationally, like they're just working on pure instinct and trying to survive. And Doug informs Kitty and us about how they communicate, mostly through emotions. And and Doug thinks he's getting closer to finding Logan's elephant. Meanwhile, I see Kid Omega has been listening in. Logan's getting nowhere with Tiger to the point where the only thing he believes will make her listen is if he shows her what she's missing out by just reading about the what the poachers are doing. So he literally slices off his face, so all we see is his eyes and this red flesh, and it is quite the visual. Doug tells us that. Elephants are being killed on a near extinction level, as one is slaughtered every 15 minutes. So that's a lot. Kid Omega gets caught by Pixie, or no, not Pixie, Sprite, um, who is very pale with wings, and Ivy's there. And Kid Omega explains how Doug's like translation powers pretty much works as an automatic flex. So it's just pure information, but there's no like emotions that go with it. Whereas his power, he's a telepath, so he gets all the emotional aspects, so he's very moved. And Quentin tells Kitty that he has a plan of what to do. Meanwhile, Logan finds his elephant friend who is just super sad as naturally there's only one elephant standing, and of course it's Logan's elephant. And Logan brought all the slain family members' bones back so the elephant can absorb those emotions and just wander away. Meanwhile, Kitty brings a um blackbird to the Kruger National Park 2 days later to help out the people who helped Logan out, who they mistakenly think they're Avengers, which Kitty's like, actually, we're the X-Men, but we have been known to cross paths and trade players from time to time. So that's funny. And so they're going to give him a bunch of rifles and supplies. Meanwhile, Logan's going to continue killing poachers. And that, everyone's a two-part Savage Wolverine story. Concluding with Savage Wolverine 13. So let's see what comics came out last week. Oh yeah, Dazzler 4 concluded. And my only complaint is that we didn't get more Dazzler. And it turns out we're getting more Dazzler in April, so fantastic. Um, Laura Kinney Wolverine 1 came out, which I thought was a pretty smart move to use the NYX cast as her supporting cast, because why not? And she's doing what Ileana implied, or Magic implied that she did years ago, when she took Kitty to Monster Island. I think Uncanny X-Men Volume 333. That feels right. And right, and she says that whenever mutant nonsense is happening, Magic likes to just disappear and find uh mutants being trafficked and just rescue them. She doesn't make a big deal about it, but that's what she's doing. And then Laura's doing this, which in my mind means that we should get a two-part crossover event with Laura Kinney's Wolverine and Magic, because let's do that. Phoenix 6 was okay. Um, Thanos nonsense, but we keep getting her supporting cast being awesome. She fights Nova, but then he gets his mind cleared and works it first. Cyclops shows up for a couple pages, and then Captain Marvel and Rocket Raccoon are helping Jean out. So it's like, yeah, like I'm for this. Oh, Storm 3. Storm in Avengers the previous week, Avengers 21, Storm and the Avengers play baseball with Cyclops' team of X-Men, of Alaska. And so then this issue, Storm's meeting the X-Men of Louisiana. So I love this war tour of hers. Brother Voodoo cures her radiation, but she's powerless. But they make a big deal, like, oh no, you lost your powers. But it's like Storm loses her powers like once every 3 years. Like, she's okay. She hooks up with Logan, which I know is controversial, but at this point, it's like, yeah, they're gonna do that from time to time. So I'm like, yeah, like, oh, so it's Storm and Logan plot 6. Like, all right, like that's just gonna happen now. Everyone, once it's established, once it's a fallback. Doom invites her to Latveria, and so since she's powerless, this giant bird that Doom sent for to relay the message has to take her back begrudgingly. And I don't know, I love this bird. Hopefully the bird keeps showing up in this Doom crossover we're getting next year, which is just weeks away. Ultimate Universe 1 year in, we meet Ultimate Nick Fury, who's back to the white classic version. And probably should have said spoilers for all these, right? Retroactive spoilers plus continuous spoilers. There you go. Apparently, the maker evil Reed, the ultimate, the original Ultimate Reed Richards now made, you know, his evilest conclusion. Uh, has just made an army of Nick Fury clones that once one dies, which one I guess keeps trying to kill the superpowered war leaders. And this version tried to destroy the helicarrier, but Magic and the other war leaders, and I like how Magic is is clearly the leader of the pro Russia um alliance. But Colossus and Omega Red are comfortable enough to speak up, but clearly they 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 let Magic lead. And Nick Fury claims that they have a mole on the Ultimates team, and there's probably moles in all their countries, and so, but he doesn't divulge any information. So hopefully the next clone they get a little further along. So it's okay. Magic's in there, so I like that. And there's a preview for Ultimate Wolverine, who they call Logan. So I thought they were gonna go the Aki hero version, but they didn't. And of course, Ultimate Wolverine is also Ultimate Winter Soldier. So instead of Wolverine slash Cable, it's now slash Winter Soldier, which makes sense as it's the Russian government or the pro-Russian government, working it. Ultimate X-Men 10 continues to be great. Um, the cult Children of the Atom is now getting ahead of the stories, trying to make peace with people or explain themselves, and the X-Men we've been following are just trying to work it through. The Cyclops, though, who I forgot was a lady, kills her mother, so that's not great, and it implies that she does not have a good control of her powers. So that's happening. Oh, Uncanny X-Men 7, Part 2 of the Raid on Grey Malkin. Kid Omega and Cyclops are still not getting along, but Scott keeps refusing to call him Kid Omega, and then he calls Scott Slim. And Scott's like, I hate when you call me that. Where it's like, well, if you respected his name, maybe he'll respect your name. Like, it's just like clearly you can just work better together. But then Magic reads the situation correctly and calls Cyclops Slim as well. And so I'm like, that's fun. Um, and then Warden Ellis has someone on her payroll that can manipulate emotions. So that's why Rogue and Cyclops are so combative with each other. But Cyclops is always prepared, and so he has like his team of Alaskan X-Men scattered amongst just waiting for signals, in which he calls Juggernaut forward to wreck the place, and they find a big giant X, excuse me. And they're like, well, maybe Xavier's behind there, and Scott's like, I maybe we should talk about this before we just open a giant door that's clearly we're not supposed to open. So that's going on. Magic didn't do much. Oh, each ex-Alaskan matches up against a Louisianian, someone from Louisiana. And so Magic teams up against Death Dream, who claims that he's seen realms much scarier than Limbo, which I feels like just a new character trying to show off that they're a big bad threat, where it's like, all right, buddy, calm down. And then finally X Factor 5. We sort of skip over the whole cliffhanger of the volcano killing the team because I'm like, well, of course the volcano's not going to kill the team, so might as well just jump to a new adventure. And Dr. Cecilia Reyes and her boyfriend get back together. They're just making out all the time, which sadly then he dies at the end of the issue as who's Dark Star's team X-Term are trying to fight X Factor, and I don't know. There's a lot of jokes or humorous takes, which I usually like in my X-Men, but some of the jokes fall flat for me, and I'm just like, who's the audience for this book? And it feels like it's detached from the rest of the line, but has the themes of the rest of the line. So it's like, I don't know. It's an interesting place in the title in the From the Ashes era. So I don't know. It'd be one of those titles I would drop, but I'm trying to give everything 6 issues to see where they land and see what Marvel dictates what happens. But I will recommend reading Storm and Laura Kinney Wolverine and Dazzler. Those would be my top three. And then let's see what comes out this week. This Wednesday. Oh, hey, Alligator Loki Holiday Special comes out, which does reprint some of the online Alligator Loki comics, which Loki's in two of them. So I bought that so I can um own continue to own my Lockheed appearances. Conquest 2995. I don't know. It has Cyclops and Phoenix at 29.9, so that might be something. Dagger looks hurt on Blood Hunters 5. I don't love that. Deadpool is fighting MODOK for issue 9. Wolverine 1, if that's your bag. Namor 5, which I think is its pre-ultimate issue. If you like Stingray, that's where you can find that fella. Oh, Psylocke 2. That's nice. Sentinels 3 with Magneto fighting the team, so hopefully he just slays them all and we can move on. Uh, oh yeah, so that's the X-Men content. So I guess I'm looking forward to Psylocke 2, Sentinels 3, which I can't believe. If Aurora's in Wolverine, I might give that a better chance. Ugh, how quickly I forget. Alligator Loki Holiday Special, number one. Number two, Psylocke. Three, Sentinels. Four, Wolverine. Five, Namor. Yeah, that's the five titles to look forward to. Let's see here. Oh, I should have shouted out our son Walker D. Worrell, if you want a fun YouTube channel to follow. Is turning 11 on Monday, December 16th. So happy birthday to him. Should have led with that so I could dedicate the episode to him. And my YouTube channel hit 500 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who listens and watches. Really appreciate you. I keep racking my brain for a big 500 subscriber special to do, and nothing's coming to me, but I could always make a short that just literally says thank you for watching. Um, so I should work on that. Um, Trying to think of what else. TikTok might get banned, and so I saw that people are bouncing to Lemon 8. Lemon like the fruit and 8 the number. But it's also owned by TikTok, so I'm like, well, when did that get shut down too? But I don't know. Just to secure my screen name, I created an account over there. And I'm going to post some images from Savage Wolverine on the podcast's socials. So SNFWM on Blue Sky and Instagram. And then you can follow me on Blue Sky at Jacko SII, as you can follow me on most platforms. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk at you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.